Hello and welcome to the Integrated Media Center. I'm your host, Drake Greenstein, here to catch you up with all of the latest Golden Tornado athletic action. To start things off, let's go to the women's volleyball team who had to earn a victory on the road against Teal on Wednesday night, and they got the job done, sweeping the Tomcats 25-21 in 3 straight sets. With the victory, Geneva remains perfect in the PAC play, improving its record to 10-3 overall and 3-0 in the PAC. Geneva is off this weekend before heading to St. Vincent next Tuesday for a 7 p.m. match. The Golden Tornadoes then return home the following night for a match with Franciscan at 7 p.m. The Geneva College women's tennis team stepped out of conference play for a match against Mount Vernon Nazarene on Monday night, but the Golden Tornadoes were not able to overcome the visiting Cougars, losing 6-3. Then on Wednesday night at Blackhawk Courts, they took on their rival Westminster. The Titans came into the match with a perfect record, and they extended their season opening stretch with an 8-1 victory over Geneva. Westminster improves to 7-0 overall and 2-0 in the PAC, while Geneva falls to 3-3 overall and 1-2 in conference play. Westminster came out strong in doubles action and swept all 3 matches. The Titans also cruised through most of the singles matches. Senior Jana Newberry was the only Golden Tornado to pick up a point when she came back in 4 singles after dropping the first set, then earning a 3-set victory 4-6, 6-3, 10-7 in tiebreaker. Geneva will be back in action next Thursday, September 26, when it travels to Waynesburg for a match at 4 p.m. For the first 80 minutes on Wednesday night, everything went according to plan for the Geneva College men's soccer team in its match with undefeated Mount Union. Geneva had the better of the play for stretches of the match, and a goal from sophomore Cole Sauer midway through the second half gave the Golden Tornadoes a lead heading into the contest. Unfortunately, Geneva fell apart late, giving up 2 goals in the final 9 minutes, and Mount Union stole the victory away 2-1, with the final score being 2-1. Mount Union improved to 5-0-1, while Geneva fell to 3-4. As for the Geneva College women's soccer team, they knew they had a tough task ahead of themselves when they traveled to undefeated Pitt Greensburg on Wednesday afternoon. Despite a valiant effort from the Golden Tornadoes, a late goal near the end of the first half proved to be the difference as Pitt Greensburg defeated Geneva 1-0. Pitt Greensburg improves to 6-0, while Geneva fell to 3-3. The women's soccer team will return home and prepare for its next match this Saturday at home against Marietta starting at 2 p.m. And the Geneva College women's golf team, with their first season, they traveled to Grove City on Saturday afternoon to take part in its first tournament action in program history, which had 13 schools competing. The first year, the Golden Tornado program, led primarily by freshmen, finished in 7th place with a team score of 514. Westminster finished first with a team total of 356. Freshman Callie Grimplin led the Golden Tornadoes, carding a 106, good enough for 19th overall out of 70 golfers. The Golden Tornadoes will be back in action this Thursday when they travel to take on Franciscan at 2 p.m. The Golden Tornadoes men's tennis team earned its first victory of the season on Saturday afternoon, defeating Pitt Bradford 9-0 at Westminster. Geneva was originally scheduled to play Westminster early in the day as well, but the match was canceled due to rain. The Golden Tornadoes are now 1-1 on the season, while Pitt Bradford fell to 0-2. Geneva made quick work of the Panthers on Saturday. The Golden Tornadoes swept the doubles portion to start the match. Juniors Alex Beck and Nate Heidengren won first doubles 8-4. Then Drake Greenstein and Jacques Guillembe won easily 8-0 in second doubles, while senior Alex Gressinger and Josiah Shaver also swept their opponent 8-0. Geneva closes the fall portion of its schedule with the home match against Waynesburg on Monday, September 24th, beginning at 6 p.m. Geneva will have a mixed inter-squad scrimmage with the women's team on homecoming. As for football, this was one of those nights to move on quickly for the Geneva College team. On a night, the Geneva Athletic Department inducted 16 members into its Hall of Fame, including 5 former football players. Not much went right for the Golden Tornadoes in their home opener, which was also the 7th annual President's Athletic Conference Kickoff Classic. Carnegie Mellon controlled the game from start to finish on its way to a 31-6 victory over Geneva. Carnegie Mellon improves to 2-0 overall and 1-0 in the PAC, while Geneva fell to 0-2 overall and 0-1 in the PAC. They will continue their 3-game homestand next Saturday when it welcomes Teal at 7 p.m. Lastly, it was a great weekend for the Golden Tornadoes women's cross-country team, which finished first overall at the St. Vincent Invitational ahead of schools like Duquesne, Clarion, and St. Francis. Leading the way was McGillivray, who won the 5K race in a time of 19 minutes and 27 seconds. Geneva had 3 of the top 5 finishers at the meet, including Laborde, who finished 5th overall with a time of 20 minutes and 24 seconds. It's the second time this season Laborde has received this award. In between McGillivray and Laborde was sophomore Jessie Taylor, who finished 3rd in a time of 20 minutes and 10 seconds. The cross-country teams are back in action this weekend at Lock Haven, with the men starting at 10 a.m., followed by the women. That's all we have for a long week of sports here at Geneva College. As always, I'm your host, Drake Greenstein, and storm on.